Worker unions or employee unions is something which we assume to be a very dangerous topic to talk about, a very stressful thing to have in an organization, and a very troublesome thing to know that a union has been established in an organization. But the fact of the matter is, a union, whether you have it for employees or workers, is a group of individuals, is a group of people coming together and saying that we are going to work in a certain fashion, or we want certain negotiations, certain benefits, certain way of treating us to be done. So rather than focusing a lot on trying to ensure that a union is not established in an organization, we would recommend over our years of experience that an organization can ensure that a union, irrespective of whether it is established or not established, any group of people work towards enhancing the organization benefit rather than making sure that the organization sees a dip or organization sees some kind of a constraint. So any group or any individuals who form a union or form any collective form with the basic assumption that the working conditions and the working benefits should be reasonably distributed. Okay. Let us not talk about industrial espionage. That is a separate topic. If a union is working or a group of workers is working as a result of industrial espionage, then that's a separate topic. So for collectives or groups of people working as a union or as a group to enforce some kind of benefit from the organization works on certain principles. And the principle is the organization fair in dealing with us? Therefore, we start with the basic premise of when you start your organization right at the root, at the base, you start imbibing the culture of fairness and trust in the culture at that stage. Something we start on cannot be changed so quickly. So in terms of having a wonderful organization culture, you start at the basics and you start ensuring that that kind of a culture is built in of trust and fairness. That also brings in the second aspect which is necessary, which is of having a very robust and a transparent performance management system. If a robust and a strong performance management system exists in an organization, dealing with underperformers is a very, very transactional activity and a very fair and a transparent activity. Therefore, any individual, if they can clearly see transparency and fairness in performance appraisal and the repercussions it brings in, will not be able to have a collective which can then put the organization on a negative footing or a defending situation. The third and the most important aspect is employee communication. If as an organization we can have employee communication which is structured and which is sharing what is necessary to be shared rather than relying on grapevine, then you have built the three strong pillars of ensuring a strong organization which does not need to depend on collective forces to bring about change, because you have given a system which can bring about change for the benefit of both sides by having a wonderful culture which is on transparency and fairness and trust. You have built out a performance management which ensures that there is a good amount of discussion happening and then having a reward or a punishment as a result of the performance management. And the third, you have built a strong communication system. So will it ensure that you do not have a union? No. The fact of the matter is that as time progresses, you will have a union. Initially, any organization can succeed by not having a union. Eventually, you will have an unregistered union or a collective or a group of people who will be friends, and then a collective, and then they will eventually have a registered union. And then you will ensure that the union starts actually bargaining. So it is a matter of time that a union will eventually be established. So how do you make sure that you live with that? The effort should therefore be on ensuring you have a trustworthy culture, you have a strong performance management system, and you have a strong communication system. If these three things are in place, irrespective whether you have a union or not, your organization will go positively, and you will be able to manage the group of employees fairly reasonably and in a fairly structured manner without having an implication or an impact or a negative impact on the organization or the deliverables of the organization.